Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Friday, February 8th. Happy Friday to everybody. This is our weekly recap. So this goes out to subscribers and everybody in the newsletter. I hope everybody had a good week. It was a nice week for me. And, there was a lot to do on every day this week. And there's some flow that's definitely worth looking at as we go ahead. So let's just jump into it here. It is 3:12. We got about 50 minutes to go. And you can see the market's almost back to 270. So, for my subscribers, people in my service, I did a webinar on Thursday night, and we talked about, you know, what you could have done to reduce risk and why I was reducing risk up here, and about how, the market came into this, 274 area, the 200-day, and it's just, you can see it kind of ran out of gas. Two very narrow candles, very low volume, and then yesterday we gapped down, and then we got China news. Still managed to close above 270, all the moving averages, and today, they immediately came in, gapped us down a bit, yanked us down lower, but really didn't take anything out. And right now, with 50 minutes to go, like yesterday, we are staring right at the barrel of 270 again. What this action has done a great job. You see down below the intraday McClellan oscillator, we're at plus 19. We started earlier this week, we're up over 240 at one point, right? So we've cooled off so nicely here, right? So nicely. This is good. This is good for us in the markets. I didn't do much in the way of shorting this week. And the reason was I never had tremendous conviction to the downside. So that's why I didn't. So, if we go into next week, a close over 270 keeps us above all the moving averages but the 200-day, and keeps us momentum in this market for a move to the upside. And that's really what I'm looking for. Honestly, today I did not have one of my best days, guys. And, this is where I always talk about it and say, we'll go over my trades for the week and the day. I'll post my stuff where we at. Here we go. And go get that up for you guys real quick. So I did a couple trades today. So early on, I tried to short Boeing. I went very small, just had one of them, with a weekly 400 put in $1.52. And let's go into it. And this trade would have worked really well. And the problem is when the market was selling off, and this candle right here finally got me to get out, and Boeing wouldn't go down with it, I finally just said I'm done. And I took the loss. It was only 30 bucks. I was playing. I didn't have a lot of conviction to short Boeing, but I thought if the markets wanted to give in, this one could go. And you know what? It ended up being a triple. Oh, well, if you got out at the right time. And then I tried to short Tesla. And I watched Tesla all morning. I was sitting there with you guys, and into here, I said, if it breaks, it could be a short. And sure enough, I got in it right into this candle, and it broke, and I was up over 50 cents. And I tried to get out, and they wouldn't let me out. And I want to show you this because I was frustrated. There's nothing worse than having a winning trade and you cannot get out of it. And, these were all within a minute. They would not take my orders. So it was in at $1.21 and out at $1.21 because they refused. And this is the problems that happens in this market with these names sometimes. When it loses liquidity, when the market starts getting a little illiquid and it starts to move, they won't take your order. And that's really what happened to me. And I didn't lose money, but I didn't make money. And I was up 50 cents. So I should have made money. And that is that's tough. That's frustrating. That'll screw with your head a little bit, right? So that happened, and I kind of got up, took a quick walk, got myself back together. It was literally gone for about 2 minutes. And then I started watching and watching and watching. And I kept watching OSTK and watching OSTK and watching OSTK through here. And we had this little bump up here, right? This little bump up here, and you have this pattern. Now, there's two ways to trade a pattern like this when you get a curl. One is you could trade it off a flag break on a 5-minute candle, right? You could also take it on a break above that pivot, right? That's what I did. I got filled at 243. I got out, 2043 out at 2070. Made for a nice trade. Could have stayed a little longer, but you know what? I didn't hesitate. Put the money in my pocket. Made it a green day. A nice way to end the week. And then I bought back some of this Netflix calls. So let's go to some charts here. Let's talk about the flow for the week and what I'm looking at for next week. And let's go to a bigger chart. So I'm back in the Netflix March 1st 400 calls. There's been big volume there. all day, all week long. We saw buying. They bought it a couple more times since then. So I'm back in that one. I'm going to try that again and made money on it the first time. This name I like. I like the way this chart's setting up. Gets above here, gets above 60. 60's resistance, above 60, and I think we go. What else am I liking here? LVS. LVS, they've been buying calls on this thing. It broke out, failed. See how it handles tomorrow. If it starts to turn back up, you got MGM earnings this week. I would try LVS. They like the Feb 55s, the March 55s have been in play, the 60s, a whole bunch of different strikes on there. So I like the way they've been coming after that one over and over and over again. By the way, Netflix is high of the day here, really just acting well here. We'll see if this one wants to go this time. This one can be a little bit tough at times. All right, let's talk Twitter. Twitter got beaten up on earnings on a report that I really don't think was that bad. It's extended to the downside. There is a 3-day rule. The 3-day rule says that on the third day, you generally get a bounce. So you could choose to go home along. I'm not. I'm just going to take a conservative on Netflix. But I do think that we get a reversion to the means on Twitter on Monday. Not a long-term trade, but a reversion. So maybe back to the 100-day up here at 31.30, or maybe even test the top of this gap up at 31.81. So we'll keep an eye on that one. EA, I am long EA for a while. I'm very red. I missed today. And, there's a lot of flow in it today. I have to really go look at it because it's very messy at this point. But unfortunately, EA was trading at 92 before I understood what was going on. And while there certainly was another trade, I generally don't trade names up that much. So I have a long-term hold in common on this. I may add some to it. We'll keep an eye on it. All right. On that. So we'll look at the flow on that one. Merck, they were buying today. Merck has a very nice setup here on the daily. Good earnings and looks really, really good. You can see they were hitting today the March 1st 77.50 calls. Also in Twitter, they hit the January 70s. We talked about EA. And let's talk Snap. I hate Snap. I do not trade it. In fact, it was one of the trades I lost money on this week. I broke my rule and I traded it, took a hit on it. That said, they were buying calls, especially those April 9 calls, like they were going out of style today. And to put it into, put it out there, 32,000 of them bought up this afternoon, 29,000 April 10 calls, 15,000 February 950 calls. So they're all over that name as well. Square is a name I love. I traded Square a lot this week, not today though. And above 73 on the chart on the daily opens this one up for a bigger move back up and to get above this 78. I like the way it's holding in here. Right now, we'll see if we can get some movement on it. Not a bad day there. What else did I want to talk to you about? A lot to talk about today. OSTK we talked about. I think that can go higher. EA. NEO. NEO. Let's talk about NEO. NEO, you have big buying into the move here, and then it died out. And I've been telling everybody you have this massive resistance area up here, and it broke above it briefly, and then couldn't hold it, and we're back down. See if they come back afterward. Very elevated volume here. Still lots of calls out there, and we'll see where we go from there. What is this? Amazon February 1820 puts open. 300 of them at 237. Somebody's having fun. That's a big fund that's going out there to play. And that's really it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope everybody had a great week this week trading. And, if you like what I do, please sign up for me. If you're interested in me, come over here, go to www.smartoptiontrading.com. You come in if you want my real-time option flow throughout the day and you get my videos and webinar, click on real-time option flow. If you're looking for learning, I can help you there. Or if you just want my free newsletter on the left side here, sign up. Free newsletter comes out every Friday like this one. Or if you want to receive my morning setups and nightly recap videos I do once each day, you can subscribe here. Thanks for checking me out. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys all on Monday.